Hello?
Andrew?
Yes, hello. Is that Ria?
It's Ria Fend from London Rocks here.
How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for your flexibility and your patience as well. Sorry
No,
about
no problem. Were you getting dressed up for me?
No, I just had another appointment that came up that was real last minute, and I was hoping we could shuffle around. So I appreciate your ability to move the interview a little bit.
No problem whatsoever. So, how are you and whereabouts are you in the world at the moment?
I'm in New York City, and I'm doing very well. And thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm in London, United Kingdom.
All right. Yes, I had imagined so.
So, we're recording this for the London Rocks YouTube so that we
Okay.
can rewatch the party later on.
Alrighty, that sounds great.
Cool. So, do you live in New York all the time?
Yes, I mean, when I'm not traveling, yeah, I'm here. I've lived here, since 1998.
Yep. And you have a nightclub there as well?
I am one of the owners, founders, and original partners of a great, yes, concert venue and nightclub called Santos Party House. And actually, this Friday, meaning May 3rd, 2013, I'll be performing there, singing for Marky Ramone and his band, where we'll play 34 Ramone songs. And we're very excited to be playing at Santos Party House.
So, have you played at the party house before, it being partly your club?
Yes, many, many times. It's one of my, well, I guess it's one of my favorite places in the whole world to be. It's sort of, like our home. But I also try not to get too greedy and take up all the time from all the other folks that deserve to play there and party there and DJ there and dance there. So it's, an offering not just to New York City, but to the world. And we've been very fortunate, very lucky to have so many incredible performers and people come through in the 4 years we've been open so far.
Who was one of your favourite acts that you've put on at the party house?
Gee whiz. I mean, I was just thinking Riff Raff played there. I was just thinking about him. He played, I think, one of his first New York shows ever. Lil B played his first ever New York show. I was just talking to 3 Inches of Blood,
Oh,
uh,
awesome.
and they actually are playing in New York City or in Brooklyn, I think, tonight. But they played there a few months ago, and that was very exciting. Cannibal Corpse has played there. Obituary has played there. Mick Jagger showed up one night and danced around there, which was amazing. Puff Daddy, Q-Tip, Questlove. So, every kind of music has been represented and all different kinds of folks and personalities.
That's a lot of partying.
Non-stop, 365 days a year.
If you don't mind us asking, how hard exactly do you party, Andrew?
As hard as I possibly can, and I'm always looking for ways to increase my abilities to figure out ways to increase my hardness and my hard partying. There's fortunately I don't think there's ever really a limit. There's always a way to take it further. There's always a method to use to party harder, and I've really dedicated my life. Not just to partying as hard as I possibly can, but trying to provide those same kinds of tools and methods that other people can use to party harder than ever.
Well, we've certainly learned a few things from you at London Rocks because we've been following you on Twitter and Facebook. And I
Thank you.
have to say, when I'm having a bad day and I see one of your party tips on Facebook or Twitter as an update, it's quite inspiring. So, how exactly does this affect your music, and how detrimental is this to what you do, this positivity that you have?
How detrimental? Being positive pretty much ruins everything. So it's extremely, extremely detrimental. The more positive I've been, the more unhappy I've been. It's a strange phenomenon, but yeah, it's been very detrimental being in a good mood. No, I'm just kidding. It's the exact opposite. Yeah, I'm just trying to cheer myself up. A lot of times, if I write something or say something or make anything I'm doing, the whole reason I want to party all the time and made it a decision to become a professional partier once I moved to New York, that was all based on primarily, initially at least, trying to cheer myself up. I wanted to be cheered up. I wanted to be in a cheerful mood and feel better. And I figured that it wasn't impossible to feel good more of the time than I was. And then I also hoped, of course, because it's entertainment, that if I offered it to other folks, that they might be cheered up. And it means a lot to me, not only that you took the time to look at these offerings, but that you're letting them work. That you're finding something cheerful within that. So thank you for opening your heart to these concepts of positive partying.
Well, it wasn't until I looked into those that I realised that you were a motivational speaker before you sort of released your albums.
Oh, actually,
Um,
it was the other way around.
oh,
I started getting invited to do motivational lectures and talks and things, kind of actually from doing interviews like this about rock music, and people would ask me questions, and then people just wanted to, because some people don't listen to rock music. Don't ask me why. I don't understand it either. It's very strange. It's like hearing someone doesn't like eating food or something. But there are those folks out there that I've met that say, I don't listen to loud music or intense music, but I saw an interview or read something, and I realized that there's a lot of ways to get to that joyful feeling. And if for someone it's a motivational speech or just talking, then I want to use that method as well.
yeah, for me, rock music and positivity, it's two of the best things in life, so I could
I
totally
hate,
understand.
but I'm not going to judge anybody else. Like, my dad, he likes my music, but he's not someone that maybe would like, obituary or something. So there's room in this world for all these different points of view, and room for many different paths to happiness and joy. So the more, the better.
Yeah. We'd like to know, how did you arrive at your signature look of white and white? Because most hard rockers wear black with black, and
I
you
love black.
stand out.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was actually one of the main reasons, not to stand out from other people so much, but to stand out from the stage. Because the stage is pretty dark. Even when it's lit up, it usually is pretty black. And I just wanted, if I was going to be doing these special dance moves and high kicks and headbanging, I wanted to show up and not just blend into the blackness and the shadow of the stage. And I also just wanted something that, I could wear every day, so I didn't have to think about what am I going to wear this time, or do I have to get a new outfit or something. So it didn't seem like anyone else had really claimed that exact outfit, so I decided that would be mine. But I love black, and I wear a lot of black too to help balance it out, for contrast. So
Yeah.
just to go back into that nice middle zone. And I
So
like color too.
you've got a heck of a lot of white t-shirts and jeans then.
That is true. Yes, Levi's has been very generous with giving me more white jeans than I actually could even use or have room for. I actually have a storage space in Manhattan that's only for jeans, really, at this point. Hundreds of pairs.
That's pretty awesome. That's a pretty awesome Levi's wardrobe.
Well, they've been very generous, and they are great jeans. They last very long.
Okay. Who did you write the song "She Is Beautiful" about?
It's a great question, and there's a very particular story. When I first moved to New York, I would ride the subway, to work every day. I was working, at a variety of jobs. At first, I was working at a great record store on St. Mark's Street or St. Mark's Place, pardon me, called Mondo Kim's Video, which has since sort of closed, or they've moved to a different location. But anyway, on the subway, there's many beauties. As you can imagine, there are just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beautiful ladies every day, every minute. I mean, there's millions, actually, probably in the city total. But just in one subway car, you could see hundreds over the course of a day. And I saw one. I saw many, but there was one time I thought I'm gonna actually go up and say hi, even though it seemed very awkward on the subway car. But I was trying to muster up the courage. And I didn't, and then she got off, and that was it. Of course, I never saw her again. And so I wrote that song to try to cheer myself up and cheer myself on when it came to mustering up the courage to talk to a strange girl.
That's
And
a pretty cool story.
I never ended up doing it, unfortunately. One time a girl came up to me, and then I had the courage to answer her, but I was always very scared of everything. So, music was one way to really try to feel more powerful and brave.
When she came up to you, what did you say to her?
That was years later. I was eating a wonderful dish of green curry at a wonderful Thai restaurant on 9th Avenue. And this very lovely girl walked by and like looked through the window, and there was just this very bizarre feeling I got that I bet she's going to come in the restaurant and say hi to me. And no one had ever done that before. She didn't know who I was, or we had never met before. It was just random. And next thing I know, I see this figure, and I turn, and it's her, and she had come in. And then we ended up going out on dates, and she turned out to be kind of intense and crazy, and but we had a great time for a couple weeks.
Yeah, intense and crazy is sometimes okay for a while.
It was a fantastic life experience. I never had an experience quite like that, so I'm very grateful to her, and I trust she's doing great. She's top beauty.
So, what do you think to London? Because you're touring with Marky Ramone.
Yes,
You're singing, you're doing the vocals for him, and
yes,
you're coming to London in October, and you're going to play at the Electric Ballroom. So
yeah,
we're looking forward to seeing you there.
yes.
What do you think to London?
It's the best. I mean, it's incredible. As far as great cities of the world, it gets very hard to start trying to pick. I mean, you got Tokyo, you've got Mexico City, you've got New York City. Some would say you have Los Angeles, and you have London. Among others, with all due respect to many others. But I mean, it's one of the top places of all time. So the more I've gotten to go there over the years, the more I've appreciated it and fallen in love with it and really enjoyed being there. And that was actually the first place that I ever played a show as Andrew WK with my band.
Really?
Yeah, that was where it all started. So I'm also very indebted. There's like a magical quality to London for my adventure that I've been on, because it all started there. It all originated there, and I'll always be grateful and humbled by the initial support and ongoing passion that the folks of the UK have shown this party. You guys made it, really. If it wasn't for you, I don't think I would be sitting talking about it right now.
Which venue was that at then?
That was at the garage.
Ah, in Highbury, yes.
And it was very intense. I sustained a severe injury, but that was the first time we ever even played a show as a band. So it was overwhelming in the best way, very emotional and very wonderful.
But you survived the injury.
I did. It had some lasting side effects. Like I had these sort of convulsions that lasted for several weeks. And then sometimes more recently, when I've sustained really bad head injury, I've had sort of like a relapse into those convulsions. But other than that, it was it could not have gone better. And thinking back to that show, which I try to do quite often, to keep in touch with, to be able to appreciate this whole unbelievable road. Because if anyone had told me I was going to get to do any of this stuff, let alone be doing it now for coming up on 12 or 13 years, I wouldn't have believed them. So I try to always keep in perspective, like where it all started, how many people have had a hand in supporting this and making it possible. I'm just very lucky. There's no real logical reason as to why I've gotten to do this stuff, but I never take it for granted, and always try to give everything I have to do it better and better, and make the most of it.
That's very admirable. And the Nosebleed album cover, is that to do with the intensity of performance? What does it represent? Is there any particular reason? Is it just because it gets people's attention?
I guess maybe all those things. What's funny is that first show, when I got hit in the head, I got a very, very, very severe bloody nose right away. And I think most of the folks that were there at the party thought that was all intentional and just making a reference to the album cover. And I have had several other bloody noses, many of the times that we played in London, in fact, always by accident. But at least it works, it kind of works in that way. It's almost like it's meant to be. Knock on wood, I'd rather not, because I've broken my nose now 3 times, and it's always been on stage.
Really?
Yes, but the bloody nose cover, I thought, like, okay, well, I've never seen an album cover like that. And at the same time, most people, I think, have had a bloody nose at some point in their lives and probably could relate to it. Maybe not one quite that bad, but, and it just, it's like my logo, it's just another, like a way to identify, oh, that's that party thing.
Yeah. I've recently seen the Andrew WK workout plan as well.
Oh,
which
yes.
Looks interesting.
Hey, that was a great video that you can see on YouTube, made by a great team of guys called Fat Awesome. And yeah, they wanted to create the Andrew WK workout plan, and where most exercise programs do short bursts of intense exercise followed by longer periods of rest, the Andrew WK workout plan is full maximum intensity until you either pass out or die.
Yeah,
So
it sounds pretty intense, and
you'll
it's
get this kind
described
of.
on the YouTube as, and I quote, "It's like being fucked by a pineapple with a huge dick."
Well, that wasn't my description of it, but these gentlemen, I guess they have had that experience happen to them, and it sounds like it could be pretty painful. The good thing is, if you do the workout plan, you won't have a bleeding nether region, and you'll be in great shape. So, all due respect to pineapples, because that's a great fruit.
It is a great fruit, and we must respect them. So we can't talk badly of them ever again. I won't
Yes,
mention it anymore.
it's all right.
So, if when you come to London, we should
Yes,
meet up for fish and chips. Very
please.
British.
Where do you go? Where's your best place? Because oftentimes the best places are kind of not in the center of the city. What's your favorite, or not your favorite, but what would you recommend for fish and chips?
Well, at the moment, I'm living in Camden, and there's a fish and chips shop that's open down the road, and it's kind of like it's got 50s style staff in it and two levels, and it looks quite nice. And
Oh,
plus,
wait a
it's
minute.
Camden.
I think I might have been there. Do they have
Yeah,
like, chili and like burgers and stuff?
yeah, and they've got fish and chips, very British, and it's it's kind of a cute place to go,
Like
and it's in
a,
Camden, so
a neon sign?
yeah, yeah,
I've been there.
yeah. We
Yeah,
should go
when
for fish
last
and
time
chips.
I was there, it was very good.
Yeah, well, Camden's a really happening place, and that's where the Electric Ballroom is. So
Oh,
it's
perfect. So
cool.
yeah, maybe we can arrange, to go back there. I would love to eat there again. And I didn't order the fish and chips last time. I had some kind of a chili, I think, like a bowl of chili, which is quite unusual to find in England at all.
Well, a lot of the places in London are heavily American influenced, so we take a lot of that from New York and places like that. So there is some English cuisine, but not loads. So
Hey, I love English cuisine. It's actually getting more and more popular here,
hmm
uh, not just at pubs and stuff, but there's some more British influenced sort of fine dining restaurants that I've gotten to go to that are fantastic. Very, very comforting, wonderful, rich, flavorful food.
yeah, what British dishes do you like then, or did you try?
Well, I mean, there's all the classics. I mean, I don't know if they're defined as British, but things like Scotch eggs,
hmm
things like shepherd's pie, of course, bubble and squeak, bangers and mash, roll mops, baker's barms and baps, things like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's quite British. Sausage and mash and things like that.
Mini cheddars,
Mini cheddars.
dairy
Okay.
milk, yeah,
Well,
porky
so
bars.
if we had to ask you for a party tip for today, what would
Hmm.
it be?
Well, I was actually about to post this one. I haven't yet. I was going to say one of the greatest feelings in the world, and I mean like physical feelings, is laughing so hard. I mean, laughing always is great, but laughing so hard that you get to this point where there's no sound coming out anymore, and your face is just kind of frozen and goes almost numb. You can't even really breathe. And it's not always easy to get there. I mean, it has to be really, 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 really funny, but you kind of end up just being like,
Yeah.
something like that, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's pretty damn good.
Very orgasmic. It's like, wow, there's no better feeling than this. It's like eating when you're really hungry, having water when you're just dying of thirst. It's one of those great physical sensations.
Going to the lavatory when you've been holding it in for a long
That's
time.
yes, that's exactly right. That one, going someplace that's very, very warm when you're really cold, or opposite, or vice versa. What else? Puking when you really want to puke,
Yeah.
because you get a kind of euphoric head rush after that too.
Have you got any plans for any of your own material
Yeah,
besides the Marky Ramone tour?
no, of course. I'm doing a special party solo tour around parts of the U.S. over the next month and a bit. And then, of course, the world tour with Marky Ramone. We're going to play 34 Ramones songs. We just rehearsed yesterday. It's unbelievable. I'm still in a state of shock that I'm getting to do that. It's very, very, very humbling and incredible, and I've learned so much already. And yeah, and then I'm working on a new album. I've been working on it for a while, and I would love to get it done this year. There's a lot of other excitement coming up this year, a lot of more stuff in store. So I've kind of turned myself over in a way to my destiny. And I used to think that you kind of decide everything you want to have happen in life, but I could never have decided half the things that have even happened to me in the last month, let alone my whole adventure here. So I've kind of realized that I'm not in control of what's going on with me. I'm just meant to do the best I can with what comes my way. And in that regard, I have faith that when the album is meant to happen, it'll happen too. But I got a lot of songs. I mean, I've been working on a lot of riffs and lyrics and everything else, and it'll be the most exciting rock and roll party album I can possibly make. Thank you for asking.
Yep, you can't predict rock and roll, can you, basically?
It seems more and more like you just gotta hand yourself over to the gods of party and let them, you really just do their bidding. And I'm just trying to do it as best I can because they've been very nice to me, and I want to do right by them.
Yeah, well, this has been the partiest interview that I've ever done. And I
Well,
would like us to finish this interview by you giving me your best metal horns, leaning into the camera, and giving me a really enthusiastic London Rocks.
okay, ready? Okay, three. Now, what is it? This or okay, all right,
Rock
ready?
and roll.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. London rocks! Yeah!
That was amazing.
That was-
Andrew, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for
It's
having
been
me.
awesome, and we look forward to seeing you in October.
Thank you for the excellent questions and for partying with me on the computer.
Party!
Hey!
Okay, see you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Fare thee well.